Well, we all know that kids love routine. They love consistency, and you know what? As adults, we actually like that too. So let's get some systems in place to have really great mornings this school year. And the best part is there's no printables, there's no color coding, no lists, nothing like that. Just some simple tips to make mornings better this year. Well, hi, I'm Dawn from theminimalmom.com, and welcome back to our series on just a successful school year. And so our first video talked about saving money on school supplies, and then after that we set up our drop zone for back to school, which actually helps us to have successful school mornings, which is what we're going to talk about today. And you know, when I got thinking about it, there's actually a lot that goes on each school morning. We have to get the kids up in the morning, they have to have breakfast, they have to get dressed, they have to make lunches, they have to pack their backpack for the day and then get all their shoes and coats on to get out the door. And don't even get me started about when it's winter and then they need all of that stuff too. And so it's kind of a lot of stuff that goes on each morning. And so our brains work so much better when they don't have to think, which is kind of funny. So when they can just kind of go on autopilot and go through the steps. And so let's set up our school mornings so that we can just go through it without having to think too much. And so that's what these tips I have for you today are all about. Just be able to just kind of glide through the morning without any glitches or surprises and get to school on time. Wouldn't that be awesome? Okay, we're going to get into each of those steps and how to simplify each one. But the very first thing that I had to do was to adjust my attitude. And so looking back, I used to just see school mornings as kind of this big pain in my butt. You know, it's like the kids, they couldn't find something to wear and they wanted help making their lunches and getting breakfast ready, and I'm needing to get ready. And so looking back, I realized that I was really just wanting the kids to do their own thing so I could do my thing. But that wasn't actually fair, because no matter what ages our kids are, they actually need us to be present in the morning and to facilitate the morning. We're not going to do everything for them by any means, but they do need us just to help things to go smoothly and just to keep them pointed in the right direction. Different kids need different amounts of direction, but they need us to be present. And you know what else? They need us to be in a good mood. I used to think that my kids were setting the mood for the morning, that they would wake up crabby or, you know, they were grouchy for different reasons. But then I realized that I am actually the one that sets the mood in the morning. So I need to realize, do we need to put some fun music on because everyone's dragging a little bit this morning? Do they just need a hug? Do they need an extra minute to wake up? Or, you know, is there something bugging them that we just need to talk about really quick, you know, maybe from the day before? And so I had to just kind of switch in my brain to realize that I need to parent in the mornings and I need to be present with my kids. But once I made that switch, things actually went a lot more smoothly, as I didn't see my kids as like interruptions in my morning. So let's go through each of these things and I'll just offer a few tips that have been working for us to kind of streamline your mornings. So the second thing I did was to set some alarms in my phone. So our mornings start at 7 o'clock. My kids are usually up before then, but as far as our getting ready for school routine, that starts at 7 o'clock. And so I set an alarm in my phone for 6:55 as a 5-minute warning that in 5 minutes, I need to switch into mom mode and be present with the kids. And so then my alarm goes off at 7 and I make my way to the kitchen. So the kids know that from 7 to 7:15, I'm available in the kitchen to help get breakfast ready and to help pack their lunches. So they're responsible for getting up on their own. They can have their own alarm clock, or I'm willing to give one wake up call, but that's it. I'm not going to keep going back and forth worrying about whether they're up or not. So my hope is that what motivates them is knowing that I'm only in the kitchen for 15 minutes to help them get breakfast ready and get their lunches ready. So once they're up, then, okay, let's talk about breakfast. So I've noticed in the past, a lot of mornings our kids would just have cold cereal, and then what happens? By the time we get to school, they're already saying that they're hungry again. It's so frustrating. And so we made the switch at the end of last year to have warm breakfast, something with a little more protein in it that sticks with them. This has helped their moods a lot, I've noticed. And so I want to set them up for a successful school day. But cooking warm breakfast is a little bit more work, right? So again, we're going to systemize it. So I just set a schedule. So Mondays we have egg muffins that I make the day before. Tuesdays we have breakfast tacos. Wednesdays my 9-year-old makes French toast because she enjoys doing that. On Thursday we have egg muffins again, and then on Friday we have scrambled eggs in the microwave. So nothing fancy, and all of it can be made ahead of time and then just warmed up in the mornings. Okay, next is school lunches. So I've figured it out, and I can make a school lunch for the kids for about $1 a piece. Lunches at their school are $3.25. And so we pack our lunches every day. There's been a few times when the kids have asked if they could have hot lunch because their friends are having hot lunch. And I say, well, I will contribute $1 to it, and then the rest you have to pay with your own money. And no one has ever got hot lunch. And so, so we do pack our lunches every day. It's just cold stuff. I don't do thermoses or anything like that. So here's the way I look at school lunches. If my kids are getting a warm protein-based breakfast, and then I know they're gonna get a good dinner at night, I do not worry too much about lunches. Basically, the only guideline that I give for their school lunch is that they have to have a protein in it and a fruit or veggie. So they know that protein consists of lunch meat, peanut butter, yogurt, string cheese. They know what that means, and then a fruit or veggie. And then from there, they can decide if they want to put in granola bars or crackers or pretzels or different things like that. I put everything within reach for them. But other than that, we don't have special drawers. We don't have special spots in the fridge. And as far as the actual lunchbox, I love this lunchbox. So I got this for our oldest when she started kindergarten. I got it from Walmart. I don't know if they carry them anymore. But she has had it for 3 years, going on her 4th year now. I liked it so much, I bought one for our second, and now they carry them at Aldi. So I just bought another one for our youngest who's starting kindergarten from Aldi, and so he's going to use it as well. What is so great about it is the containers are actually kind of small, but they are the perfect portion size for grade school kids. And so I would look at how little food they would put in those containers and think, well, that can't be enough for lunch, but it's the perfect amount. Okay, so we got them up, they've had breakfast, they made their lunches, getting dressed. So they can get dressed at any point in the morning. That's totally up to them. In this video, I talk about how I have significantly simplified their wardrobe. So each of our kids has about 5 to 7 outfits. So as far as them getting dressed in the morning, I don't pre-plan their outfits. I don't set them out ahead of time. Basically, because they have so few clothes to choose from, it just doesn't take them long to pick out something in the morning, and everything in their wardrobe can be mixed or matched. Any of their bottoms can go with any of their tops. So they just have to get dressed, whether they decide to do it right away in the morning or after breakfast. That's their choice. But before we leave for school, they just have to be dressed. So that's their own choice. So then my next alarm goes off at 7:45, and that means that it's time for everyone to get their shoes on, coats on, and backpacks packed. So what's really helped us with this is we actually do a backpack dump each day when the kids get home from school. And so what they do is they dump out their lunchbox, their folder that has any homework or any permission slips that need to be signed, as well as any other treasures that found their way into their backpack. So they dump everything out, and then if they put their lunchbox by the sink, I am glad to wash it when I run the dishwasher that night. If it does not make it to the sink, they have to wash their own lunchbox out. And then they also put any homework or permission slips on the counter, and then we deal with that when I'm making dinner the night before. So then when we get to this point in the morning, packing their backpack isn't really that big a deal. They throw their lunchbox in and anything else they need. Everyone gets their shoes and coats on. Like I said in the other video, we set up our drop zone, and having our front closet functioning well, it just makes such a huge difference, and it really makes our mornings go smoothly. So basically the whole morning leads up to them getting in the car on time. So if they're not in the car, then they have extra chores to do that evening. It really happens though. That has been a really great motivation. And so no one wants to sleep in the morning because they don't want to miss that window of time where I'll help with breakfast and lunches, and then they want to get in the car on time so they don't have to do extra chores. And so just by putting a few of these things in place, it actually does make mornings go a whole lot smoother. Whew, well, that kind of just made me tired. Just talking about school mornings, there's really a lot that goes into it, isn't there? And so I know all of these systems probably won't work exactly for you, but I do want to encourage you just to kind of take a little bit of time before school starts. Look at what pain points you have. Is it getting the kids out of bed in the morning, or breakfast, or their school backpacks being a disaster? And just think through a few changes that you can make to help it go more smoothly. And then coming up next, we're going to talk about fall schedules. How many activities should our kids be in? It's a good conversation to have, and so you can find a link to that video down below. And certainly, if you have any tips for smooth school mornings, please leave those below. I am all ears when it comes to ideas to make mornings go more smoothly, and certainly other moms appreciate the comments as well. And as always, the best compliment you can give us is a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this in the future.